Hi there everyone. So for today's video, it is officially summer at the Dollar Tree. So I wanted to show you guys 3 ways that you can use these items that are seasonal right now at the Dollar Tree. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into our first project. Our first project in this video is going to be to make a pillar column pedestal table, and I needed to pick up some pool noodles. You can find these anywhere, Walmart, Dollar General. I just happened to pick mine up from Dollar Tree, and then I also went to the hardware store and I picked up one of these 48-inch tubes. And this tube will become the center of our pedestal table and is what we are going to attach the pool noodles onto. And for the top, I really did want to use like a stepping stone, but then I was thinking about it, it would be too maybe top heavy. So I did opt for just using this wood round that I also picked up at the hardware store, and it is 15 inches across. So that is pretty much just like the basic structure of this table. And I've been loving seeing all of these columns on a lot of high-end home decor sites. However, a lot of times they're also very expensive. And on top of that, I have small kids, and I wanted to try to make a kind of worry-free version of a column pillar table. And the second reason that I wanted to try to recreate it is because the ceilings on my first level are actually quite tall. So a lot of times furniture can feel like it's dwarfing the space. So that is why I'm going to try to do this table. So the first thing I needed to do was just take a couple measurements and make sure that everything was nice and centered. And just to kind of tell you guys what I did, we know that the top is 15 inches across and the tube was 8 inches across. So that leaves me 7 inches to work with. And that should mean that I should have 3.5 inches all the way around. And before I glue anything down, I'm just taking a pencil and I'm just tracing around where I'm going to put the super glue gel so I can just attach it really easily and not make it a very messy project. And after I applied glue all the way around, I just grabbed the tube and placed it directly on top of that. And then I just placed something heavy on top of that tube. And I just used a weight that I had on hand, but you can use anything that is heavy like books or something like that. And that really is only just to make sure that everything is sticking really well to each other and it has the opportunity to be really solid. Now that our basic structure is done, it's just time now to add our noodles. And I've seen so many different variations of people using pool noodles in really creative ways. So I'll link some in the description that I think people did a really good job with. But the first thing I'm doing is I'm actually just going to take a bread knife, which is just really a serrated knife, and I'm just going to cut the tube down the middle. For this project, I ended up buying 6 pool noodles in total, and cutting them in half gave me 12 pieces, which is exactly what I needed to cover this entire tube. And I did grab the same color for all 6 pool noodles just because I didn't want there to be a variation when I went to go and paint it. Also, I did opt for green because I knew I wanted my table to be white. So if you want to paint your table red or maybe like a navy blue, I would get the color that's most similar to the color that you want it to look like at the end of the project. And with all of the noodles all cut down, I found that the best way to attach the noodles was not using super glue gel, because I did try that. It's definitely just to use some hot glue here. So I just hot glued all the way down either side until it was completely filled in. And as I mentioned earlier, I did want it to be like a very like matte stone-like white color. So I decided to use some chalk paint from the hardware store as well as some joint compound. And I mixed about equal parts of those in a big bucket, and I just stirred that around until I got a really like thick consistency, because I still wanted it to look like stone. I just didn't want it to actually be stone for the safety of my kids. And to apply the joint compound chalk paint mixture, I just did so using a chip brush, and I felt like that was the nicest option. I did try to use a foam brush, but I felt like it made it kind of clumpy, so I would definitely recommend using a chip brush in this case. And then for the top, I really did want it to be stone, but it's wood. So I had to kind of just change the direction of which I was painting, just because I didn't want it to just look like one brush stroke all the way across. And then after I got the first coat on, I was able to kind of see where I needed to add more spackle or more paint, and I had to do 3 coats in total to completely cover the green up. And for the second and third time around when I was painting, I used a smaller chip brush just to make sure I was getting in all of the crevices, and I did add more caulking to specific areas if there was like gaps that needed to be filled in. And this is how our pillar column pedestal table turned out. For the next project, I was shopping online and I was on Urban Outfitters website and I saw this chandelier taper candle holder and I really, really loved it. So I wanted to try to recreate it myself. So I'm using some of these caps from the hardware store and one of these wire floral hanging baskets that you can find now at the Dollar Tree. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the clips off from where you would hang it typically, and I'm going to bend those parts to be flat. So then that way our caps have something to sit on top of. Now, initially I try to just bend these back with my fingers and then I hurt myself. So I don't recommend it. Just grab some needle nose pliers and bend them the opposite direction that they're currently in. For the adhesive, I did try to use hot glue first just to see if it would work, and it does not. So I did have to go to the super glue gel again. And overall, I think you'll just get a better hold in the end. And all I'm doing here is I'm taking those caps and just attaching the super glue, and then I'm clamping them just until they dry. So that is one little easy hack that you guys can do too. If you need another set of hands, if you don't have another set of hands, you can use a clamp, and that can make you work a lot more efficiently. So I kind of created this like tiered chain, which is just a matter of like taking clips off of one and adding one to another, and then kind of attaching it that way. But before I attach everything for good, I did take it outside and I gave it a couple coats of that spray paint just to kind of make it look like all one piece. And to attach it now, I'm just removing one link from each of the 3 chains, and then I'm attaching that individually. So that way it's not super flimsy and it's kind of going to stay put a little bit better. And I did use the 3/4 of an inch cap, not only because it was cheaper, but also because I felt like most taper candles are generally around 3/4 of an inch. They might be a little bit bigger, but you can always remove some of the wax before you place it in this holder. And this is how our chandelier taper candle holder turned out. For the last, somewhat larger scale item for this video, I wanted to make some wall art, and right now you can get hula hoops at the Dollar Tree. You can also probably get them at Walmart or Dollar General for, again, very affordably, but I happen to pick this one up from the Dollar Tree, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm just going to remove the sticker that they place all along the hula hoop. And I've worked with hula hoops in the past on this channel. I've made a macrame piece using one. I've also made a shelf within one. So there's definitely a lot of different varieties you could use. But for this specific project, I wanted to kind of fill in that circle. I just wanted that to be my like outline shape of our art piece. So I'm using the hula hoop more as like a frame in a sense. And to fill it in, I really wanted to try to use coffee filters because it has this really like organic shape when you put all of them together. So I decided that that was going to be what I was going to use to fill it in. So I took one coffee filter and I was just kind of playing with the shape, but basically I just folded it in half, folded that in half again, and that in half again. And I did that over and over and over again. But before I attach any coffee filters, I needed to duct tape the 2 poster boards together. And the reason I had to do that was because one poster board isn't big enough to occupy the entire space within the hula hoop. So I just took several pieces of duct tape and I attached them together. And now that they are attached, I decided to also spray paint the hula hoop white. Not that you will even see it, but just in case if there was a little bit poking out, it would be white, which is the color of the coffee filters. So I'm just tracing around the inside of the hula hoop so I know where I'm going to need to apply the hot glue. So then that way that can just sit right on top of the poster board. And the reason I didn't cut out the shape beforehand was because I felt that after I attached all of these filters to the inside, it would only make that center where I duct taped, it would only make it stronger because all of the adhesive from all of the filters would also be there. So that is why I did wait until after to do that, and I think that that is the better way to do it. To attach the filters, I kind of just created a little stand at the bottom of each filter, and then I applied a small dab of hot glue. And as you can see, the pieces start to kind of lean forward. So you kind of just have to keep pulling them back, applying a little bit of glue, and adding a filter. And my mom, being the kind soul that she is, decided she was gonna help me fold and then I would glue, and that made this go by so much faster. So if you want to ever make something like this for like a wedding or something, definitely get all the girls involved, and it will definitely speed up the process when you have somebody else doing that part. And with all of the filters attached, it's just time now to cut off the excess poster board that I didn't need. And to attach it to the wall, I just used some command strips because that can hold up to 16 pounds, and this was actually extremely lightweight, and this is how it turns out. And that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all next Sunday. Have a great week. Bye.